I pushed open the door, the sound of laughter spilling into my ears. My heart froze. Ethan, are you home? I called, though I already knew the answer. A low voice answered, amused. Relax, she won't come. Leela's laugh cut through me. Like glass. You don't know her. She's always hovering. And what if she walks in? Ethan asked carelessly. She'll cry, then forgive me. She always does. I stepped into the room. Not this time. They spun around. Ethan's shirt hung open, Leela's lipstick smeared. My stomach twisted. Why you? My throat burned. Leela, why? She smirked. Why not? Did you really think he wanted you forever? Don't. I whispered. You were my sister, my only friend, and now I'm the woman he actually wants. She slipped her arm around him. Stop it, I begged. Tell me this isn't real, Ethan sighed. Don't make a scene. We were finished. Long before tonight. No? You swore I was everything. You promised promises don't feed ambition. He snapped. You're weak, always clinging. Leela isn't afraid to fight for me. My hands shook. I gave you my youth, my loyalty. I gave you all of me, and I didn't ask for your chains, he said coldly. You think love is enough? It isn't. Leela leaned closer, her lips brushing his ear. She never knew how boring she was. I staggered back. You'll regret this, Ethan laughed. No, you'll regret wasting years on me. His shove sent me crashing against the wall. Pain burst across my ribs. Ethan, I gasped. Please, please. What? His eyes hardened. Beg? Cry? It's pathetic. I turned to Leela. Look me in the eye. Tell me I meant nothing. She tilted her head. You meant convenience. That's all. Tears streamed down my face. You stole everything. No, she corrected, smiling cruelly. You gave it away. The room swayed. My chest heaved, breaths sharp and shallow. Leave, Ethan ordered. Before I drag you out. I loved you, I whispered. I loved you both. And you killed me. He scoffed. You'll live. But my body betrayed me. My knees buckled, the floor rushing up. Wait, she's not. Leela's voice wavered. She's faking. Ethan hissed. No, I wasn't. My vision blurred, sound fading into echoes. My heart squeezed as if it wanted to tear free. I thought of the little girl who dreamed of fairy tales. I thought of every promise, every sacrifice, all wasted. Darkness crept in, heavy and cold. My lips moved, one final breath carrying the vow that burned in my chest. I'll be back. And you'll pay. My eyes flew open to the sound of morning birds. I gasped, clutching the sheets. The ceiling above me, it wasn't the hospital. It wasn't the darkness. It was my old room. No, I whispered. This can't be real. The mirror across the room reflected my face so much younger. I staggered closer, touching my skin, smooth, unlined, my hair longer, uncut. I trembled. Am I dreaming? I murmured. Or did death throw me backward? The door creaked open. You're up early, Claire said, her cheerful voice a stab of nostalgia. I turned quickly. Claire? She blinked. Of course it's me. Who else? My throat tightened. She was alive, untouched by betrayal, still innocent. Come here. She frowned. Why do you look like you've seen a ghost? Maybe I have, I muttered, hugging her tightly. You don't know how much I missed you. She laughed. Nervously. We saw each other yesterday. I pulled back, forcing a smile. Right, yesterday. Her eyes narrowed. You're acting weird. Did Ethan say something? The name made my chest ache. No, not yet. Not yet. She repeated. I waved her off. Forget it. Just stay close to me, okay? She tilted her head. You sound serious. I am. My voice dropped. More serious than ever. Later that day, Ethan's voice echoed from the hall. Darling, you're awake? I froze. The man who killed me, yet here he was, younger, smiling like he still owned my heart. I forced a steady breath. Yes, I'm fine. He kissed my forehead casually, unaware of the storm inside me. Good. You worried me last night. I almost laughed. Worried? He would kill me in the future. What are you smiling at? He asked. Just grateful, I said softly, masking the venom. Behind him, Leela appeared, clutching her books. Her innocent act made bile rise in my throat. Hey, bestie, she chirped. I forced a grin. Leela. She leaned close. You look pale. Did you dream something bad? Yes, I whispered. The worst nightmare of my life, Ethan chuckled. Don't scare her. I'm not scared, Leela said, though her eyes searched mine. You look different. Do I? I asked lightly. Maybe I finally opened my eyes. They exchanged puzzled looks, but I hid my rage behind a gentle smile. Inside, my vow burned. This time, I'll be the one holding the knife. This time you'll bleed. Later, Claire tugged my sleeve. What's going on with you? You're quiet. Around them. I bent close to her ear. Listen to me carefully. Don't trust everything you see. People aren't always what they seem. Her brows furrowed. You sound like you're warning me. I am. My gaze drifted toward the doorway where Ethan and Leela laughed together. My fists clenched. Claire whispered, "Are you angry at them?" "Not angry," I said coldly. "Awake, sweetheart, you're early," Ethan said as he entered the caf, flashing that easy smile. I clasped my hands on the table and tilted my head. "I wanted to see you. I missed you." His eyes softened with satisfaction. "That's more like you. Lately, you've been distant." I forced a laugh. Distant? Maybe I was just tired. You know me, I can't stay away from you. Inside, my stomach churned, but I leaned forward as though desperate for his warmth. He reached for my hand. "You're my angel. Don't ever change." "Of course," I whispered. "I'll always be what you want." For now, from behind us, Leela's voice rang sweetly. "Well, isn't this cozy?" I turned with a bright smile. "Leela, come join us." Her brows rose. "You don't mind?" "Why would I? You're my best friend." The lie slid off my tongue easily. She slid into the seat beside Ethan, her arm brushing his. "You're glowing today. Something happened?" "Yes," I said, eyes steady. "I realized how lucky I am." Her smile faltered, just for a second. "That's nice," Ethan chuckled. "See? She adores me." "I do," I murmured, pressing my lips to his knuckles. "And I'll adore watching you fall." Later that evening, he brought me to his family's mansion. My pulse raced as the door opened to reveal a sharp-eyed woman. "Mother," Ethan said warmly. "You remember her?" Her gaze swept over me like I was dirt on the carpet. "Yes, the quiet one. Tell me, what do you see in her?" Heat rushed to my face, but I bowed politely. "It's an honor to see you again, Mrs. Blackwell." She arched a brow. "Honor? Is it? Then prove it. Can you manage a household? Or will my son starve waiting for dinner?" "I can," I answered, softly. "I've been learning. I'll do whatever he needs." Her lips twisted. "Obedient. That's all you are. Do you have ambition, girl?" "A woman who clings only to a man will be discarded when he grows tired." I forced a small smile. "Then I'll make sure he never grows tired." Ethan laughed, pulling me close. "See? She's perfect. She loves me endlessly." "Yes," I whispered, laying my head on his shoulder. "Endlessly until I cut your wings." His mother's gaze lingered on me, cold and calculating. "We'll see how long you last." After she left, Ethan grinned. "Don't mind her. She tests everyone." "You passed." "I'm glad," I said sweetly, though my jaw ached from restraint. Back home, Claire caught me pacing. "Why are you smiling like that?" "Because," I said, "I learned something today." She frowned. "What?" "That people see me as harmless. And that's my greatest weapon." Her eyes widened. "You're scaring me." I touched her cheek gently. "Don't be scared. Just watch. The more they underestimate me, the more satisfying it will be." The next morning, Leela found me alone. "You're acting strange." I blinked innocently. "Strange? How?" "You're too calm, too sweet. It's not real." I leaned close, whispering with a smile. "Then test me, Leela. Push me. See if I break." Her eyes flickered with unease before she forced a laugh. "You're dramatic. Maybe," I said softly. "Or maybe I've just learned to wear a mask." She stared at me, uncertain, while I smiled as though nothing in the world was wrong. Inside, I whispered to myself, "Play your games, both of you. I'll play better." The banquet hall glittered with chandeliers, laughter mixing with the clinking of glasses. Ethan tugged me by the hand. "Stay close. Tonight is important. Don't embarrass me." I smiled sweetly. "Of course, I'll make you proud, even if I burn you later." He led me through the crowd until a commanding voice stopped him. "Mr. Blackwell will see you now." I stiffened. Adrian Blackwell. In my last life, he barely noticed me, yet here he was, the center of every whisper. Ethan straightened his tie nervously. "Adrian, sir, thank you for inviting us." Adrian's eyes swept over him, then landed on me. His gaze was sharp and settling. "And this is my fiancé," Ethan said proudly, tugging me forward. I lowered my head politely. "It's an honor, Mr. Blackwell." "Look at me when you speak," Adrian said. His tone wasn't harsh, but it carried weight. I lifted my eyes. For a moment, the world narrowed to that piercing stare. I forced a calm smile. It's an honor. His lips curved slightly. Better. Tell me, do you always repeat what others expect to hear? Ethan chuckled awkwardly. She's shy. No, I said quietly, surprising even myself. I just know when speaking too much is dangerous. Adrian's brow rose. Interesting. Ethan squeezed my arm. She's just being modest. She doesn't understand business talk. Adrian ignored him. And what do you understand? My heart pounded, but I met his gaze. I understand people. Their masks, their pride, their hunger. A brief silence. Then, Adrian laughed softly. Finally, someone honest. Ethan frowned. She's joking, sir. Don't take her seriously. Adrian's eyes lingered on me. I decide what to take seriously. Heat rushed through me, though I kept my expression calm. Leela appeared, sliding to Ethan's side with a practiced smile. Mr. Blackwell, it's such an honor. We've heard so much about you. He gave her a dismissive glance. Have you? His attention drifted back to me. And what have you heard? I tilted my head. That you're ruthless. That you don't waste time on weaklings. His eyes gleamed. And yet you stand here, speaking so boldly, because weakness invites wolves, I murmured. Better to be underestimated than devoured. Ethan hissed in my ear. What are you doing? Stop talking like that. But Adrian smiled faintly. Let her speak. She's far more interesting than the rest of you. Leela's face tightened. She's exaggerating. She always tries to sound smarter than she is. I looked at her evenly. And you always try to sound sweeter than you feel. Adrian chuckled. Sharp tongue. Dangerous, if left unchecked, or useful. I replied softly. For a moment, silence stretched between us. Then he said, I like useful. Ethan laughed nervously. She's just a woman, sir. Don't give her words too much weight. Adrian's gaze darkened. Then perhaps you don't know her as well as you think. The words sank into me like fire. He saw something, not everything, but enough. I dipped my head. Thank you for your time. Adrian nodded slightly. I'll be watching. As Ethan pulled me away, his grip bruising, he muttered, What the hell was that? Do you want to ruin me? I smiled faintly. No, Ethan. I want to see you shine, and then I want to watch you fall. The apartment was silent except for the ticking clock. Ethan paced back and forth, his jaw clenched. You've been distracted, he snapped. Don't deny it. I sat calmly on the couch. I've just been tired. Don't lie to me. His voice cracked like a whip. You avoid me. You smile at others but not at me. I tilted my head. Do I? Maybe you're imagining things. His eyes narrowed. So now you're mocking me? No, I kept my voice soft. I'm just thinking about my future. Your future is me, he barked. I let a faint smile touch my lips. Is it? His hand shot out, slapping me hard across the cheek. The sting burned, my head snapping to the side. For a moment, silence drowned the room. Ethan, I whispered, touching my face. He loomed over me. Don't ever talk to me like that again. Do you understand? I met his gaze, my eyes watering but steady. Yes. Say it louder, he demanded. Yes, Ethan. My lips trembled, but inside, a dark laugh echoed. Good. Show me your monster. He paced again, running his hand through his hair. Why do you make me angry? Why do you push me? I didn't. I murmured. I only asked a question. He glared. Don't play innocent. I let the silence hang. Then slowly, I smiled. He didn't notice it was too dark for him to see the curve of my lips. The knock at the door startled us both. I'll get it, I said quickly, rising before he could stop me. When I opened the door, relief washed over me. Maya. Her eyes widened at the sight of my swollen cheek. What happened? Nothing, I whispered, pulling her inside. She glared at Ethan. Did you hit her? He scoffed. Stay out of this. It's between us. No, it's not, Maya shot back. Only cowards hit the ones who love them. Maya, I said softly, grabbing her arm. Please. She turned to me, her voice breaking. Why are you protecting him? Because, I said, forcing a weak smile. He didn't mean it. Yes, he did. She cried. Look at you. Ethan growled. Get her out of here before I enough. I cut in, my voice sharp. Both of them froze. Maya, please. I'll explain later. She searched my face, then nodded reluctantly. Fine, but I'm not leaving you alone with him again. After she left, Ethan slammed the door. Your friend should learn her place. She was only worried, I said quietly. She should be worried about herself. He sank into the chair, muttering curses. I touched my burning cheek, the pain sharp but strangely satisfying. I whispered so low he couldn't hear. Keep showing me who you are, Ethan. Every bruise is another nail in your coffin. He looked up. What did you say? Nothing, I replied sweetly. I said I'm sorry. His eyes softened slightly, as though my submission soothed him. But inside, I was smiling in the dark, the taste of revenge sweet on my tongue. The gala brimmed with noise, but Adrian's voice cut through it easily. You seem quiet again, he remarked, standing beside me with a glass of wine. I smiled. Faintly, quiet people hear more than they speak. His gaze sharpened. And what have you heard tonight? That everyone in this room wants something from you, I answered softly. Except me. He tilted his head. Then what do you want? Nothing. I sipped my drink. At least, nothing you'd give freely, Adrian chuckled. You're bold. Do you realize most people tremble when they stand before me? I realize fear doesn't help anyone survive, I murmured. It only makes the predator hungrier. His lips curved. So you see me as a predator, wouldn't you? In my place? His eyes gleamed. Maybe, but I wonder what prey smiles back at the predator. Only the one planning her escape, I whispered. His laugh was low, genuine. You interest me more each time we speak. Before I could answer, Ethan strode toward us, his smile tight. Darling, I was looking everywhere for you. Were you? I asked lightly. He slipped his arm possessively around my waist. I hope my fiancée isn't bothering you, sir. Adrian's gaze lingered on me. On the contrary, she's the first person tonight worth listening to. Ethan stiffened. She doesn't know business. I didn't ask her about business, Adrian replied evenly. I asked her about people, and she answered well. I glanced at Ethan, feigning innocence. I was only making conversation. He forced a laugh. Of course, she has a way of exaggerating sometimes. Adrian ignored him. Tell me more, he said, his eyes never leaving mine. My heart pounded, but I smiled calmly. Everyone wears a mask here. Flattery hides envy. Politeness hides greed. The louder they laugh, the sharper the knives they hold. Adrian's mouth twitched. You've been watching closely. Observation keeps me safe, I said quietly. And safety is precious when the ground beneath you is always shifting. Wise, he murmured. Far wiser than your age suggests, Ethan's grip tightened painfully around my waist. She overthinks. She gets carried away. Do I? I turned to him sweetly. I thought you liked that about me. He forced a smile, but his eyes burned. We'll talk later. Adrian studied him, then me. I see now. She's not the simple woman people assume. She's mine, Ethan said sharply. Adrian's expression remained calm. Ownership is fragile, Mr. Gray. Break it, and it's gone forever. The words sent a thrill through me. For a moment, I felt exposed, as if Adrian could see through the mask I wore. I bowed slightly. Thank you for your time. He inclined his head. I expect to hear from you again. As we walked away, Ethan's voice was a hiss in my ear. What game are you playing? Smiling at him like that? I was polite. I said smoothly. Nothing more. You're mine, he growled. Don't forget that. I tilted my head, keeping my voice sweet. How could I? You remind me every chance you get. He didn't hear the laughter in my heart. Because I knew the truth, Ethan's pride was his leash, and I had just handed the string to Adrian. The ballroom sparkled with chandeliers, laughter, and champagne. Ethan's hand clamped around mine like a vice. Smile, he hissed. Everyone's watching. I forced my lips upward. Of course, darling. He guided me to the stage, his chest puffed with arrogance. Tonight, he announced loudly, I want to show everyone the woman who owes everything to me. A ripple of whispers ran through the crowd. My pulse quickened, but I stayed still. He lifted our joined hands. Without me, she'd be nothing. But I turned her into someone worth noticing. Gasps, polite laughs, the scrape of glasses against tables. My cheeks burned, but I kept my expression calm. Ethan, I said softly, that's not true. His smile tightened. Don't argue. Just nod. No, I straightened my back, my voice rising. I won't nod. The hall fell silent. He blinked at me, startled. What did you say? I said no, my chest rose with steady breaths. I won't stand here while you drag me down just to feed your pride. Murmurs filled the air. Faces turned toward us, eager for drama. Ethan grabbed my arm, nails digging into my skin. You're making a fool of yourself. No, I whispered, leaning close so only he heard. I'm making a fool of you. His eyes blazed. Don't you dare. But I stepped forward, my voice clear and strong. Everyone here should know I'm ending this engagement. Tonight? The crowd erupted in shocked cries. Glass shattered. Somewhere in the back. You can't be serious, Ethan growled. Oh, I'm very serious, I said coldly. I refuse to marry a man who sees me as a burden, who believes he owns me. You're mine, he shouted, his composure cracking. Not anymore. I slipped the ring from my finger and held it high. The diamond glittered under the lights before I let it fall onto the stage with a sharp clink. Gasps echoed through the hall. My chest felt light, almost weightless. Ethan's face contorted. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said, my lips curling. But at least it will be my choice, not yours. From the edge of the room, Adrian's low voice carried. Interesting. Ethan spun toward him. Stay out of this. Adrian raised his glass, his gaze fixed on me. Why would I? I enjoy watching strength reveal itself. The crowd buzzed louder, whispers sharpening into speculation. Strength? Ethan spat. She's weak. She's nothing without me. I met Adrian's gaze for a heartbeat before turning back to Ethan. If I'm nothing, then losing me should mean nothing. Yet look at you raging like a man who's already lost everything. The words cut deep. His hand trembled as he pointed at me. You're ungrateful. After all I've done, all you've done is break me, I said, my voice steady. But tonight, I won't let you anymore. The room thundered with applause from a few bold guests, others hiding smiles behind their hands. Ethan's face flushed crimson. This isn't over. It is for me, I whispered, stepping down from the stage. Adrian intercepted me near the crowd, his voice low enough for only me to hear. That was brave, or foolish, I muttered. Foolishness doesn't earn silence, he replied. It earns respect. I held his gaze, breathless, as Ethan shouted behind us, You'll crawl back, you'll beg me. I turned, my voice carrying across the hall. No, Ethan, you'll be the one crawling. The hush that followed was thick, electric. My heart hammered, not from fear, but from freedom. For the first time, I felt alive, and as Adrian's faint smile lingered, I knew this was only the beginning. The evening after the shattered engagement, I sat alone on the terrace of the hotel, staring at the city lights. My chest still buzzed with adrenaline. You handled yourself well. I turned. Adrian stood behind me, his presence as sharp as the night air. You enjoy watching disasters? I asked quietly, only when someone turns one into opportunity. He said, taking the chair across from me. I folded my hands. And what opportunity do you see in me? His eyes studied me, steady and unreadable. Strength disguised as obedience. Intelligence hidden under silence. A woman who knows how to bleed without showing the wound. A bitter laugh escaped me. You sound as if you've been reading my diary. I don't need your diary. He replied, I only watch. I swallowed hard. And what do you want from me? He leaned forward. Be by my side. The words landed like thunder. Be by your side? Yes. Not as a toy. Not as decoration. As a partner. I blinked. Why me? You have the world's attention. You could choose anyone. He tilted his head. Because anyone else would. Bow too quickly. You push back. That intrigues me. I tried to steady my voice. And if I say no, then I'll keep watching, he said calmly. But I think you won't say no. Before I could respond, a soft voice interrupted. Adrian, are you troubling her already? I turned to see a woman approach, poised, elegant, with the same sharp eyes. Evelyn, Adrian said. My sister. She smiled at me gently. You were impressive tonight. Few dare to humiliate a man like Ethan so openly. I didn't plan to, I admitted. I just couldn't keep quiet anymore. That's exactly why it mattered, she said warmly. My brother doesn't waste time on empty masks. And neither do I. Adrian's gaze returned to me. So, will you accept? I hesitated, my pulse racing. What would standing by your side mean? He answered without hesitation. It means power. It means protection. And yes, it means putting yourself in the line of fire. I whispered. And Ethan? Adrian's lips curved faintly. He'll choke on the sight of you with me. My stomach tightened. The image of Ethan's fury flickered in my mind, delicious and dangerous. Evelyn leaned closer. He'll never recover from it. I can already see the storm in his eyes. I stared at them both. Why do you care? Why involve yourselves in my mess? Because, Adrian said simply, your war aligns with mine. I remove parasites. Ethan is one of them, Evelyn added softly, and because I like you. You're not afraid to stand alone. That deserves support. I exhaled shakily. You're offering me power. But at what cost? Adrian's eyes held mine. Every choice has a cost. The question is, would you rather pay it and win, or stay safe and lose? My lips trembled, torn between fear and exhilaration. If I accept, there's no going back. He leaned back, satisfied. Exactly. Evelyn reached out, squeezing my hand gently. Whatever you decide, know you're not as alone as you think. Silence hung heavy. Finally, I whispered, then I'll stand by your side. Adrian's faint smile deepened. Good. Let's see how far you can rise. Inside, my heart roared with triumph. Ethan wanted me beneath him forever. Now, he would watch me rise higher than he could ever dream. Have you heard? A guest at the luncheon whispered behind her fan. Ethan's deal collapsed. Millions lost. Another voice chuckled. Serves him right. Too arrogant. Always pretending he's untouchable. I sipped my tea, pretending not to listen, though every word slid into me like music. Across the room, Ethan's eyes locked on mine, burning with fury. He stalked toward me. You, he hissed. You've been spreading lies about me. I raised a brow. Lies? Do you think I control the market? You're laughing at me, he growled. Not at you, I murmured sweetly. At karma. His fists clenched, but Adrian's calm voice cut in. Is there a problem here? Ethan stiffened. Stay out of this, sir. It's personal. Adrian's gaze was ice. When your tantrum interrupts my event, it becomes professional. I touched Ethan's sleeve lightly, masking my delight. Don't cause a scene. People are watching. They always watch you, he spat. Ever since you clung to him. Adrian stepped closer. Careful, Ethan. You're mistaking your downfall for someone else's rise. Ethan glared between us, his jaw tight. This isn't over. When he stormed away, I exhaled slowly. He hates me more each day. Good, Adrian said. Hate makes men reckless. I glanced at him. And you want him reckless? Of course, he replied smoothly. The more mistakes he makes, the easier it is to crush him. That night, I met Maya at the cafe. She leaned across the table. The rumors are spreading fast. They say Ethan signed a contract without reading the fine print. I smiled faintly. Sounds like him. Always chasing glory, never checking for traps. Her eyes narrowed. And you know something about this, don't you? I stirred my coffee slowly. I don't plant traps. I just know where they are. You're enjoying this, she whispered. I met her gaze. Why shouldn't I? He made me bleed. Now, he's the one gasping for air. She hesitated. Just promise me you won't lose yourself in revenge. I laughed softly. I already lost myself once. This is me finding what's left. Later, Evelyn approached me in the garden outside Adrian's office. My brother thinks highly of you. I tilted my head. Does he? She smiled. He said you see through people like glass. That's rare. Maybe I've just been shattered enough to recognize the cracks, I murmured. She touched my hand gently. Whatever the reason, you have allies now. Don't forget that. Her words warmed me, though Ethan's shadow still loomed in my mind. The next evening, I attended another gathering. Whispers filled the hall. Ethan's investors are pulling out. They say his arrogance ruined the deal. Did you see his face? Like a wolf with no teeth. I stepped into the room, and silence followed. Ethan stood near the bar, pale, his glass trembling in his hand. When he saw me, his expression twisted with hatred. He stormed across the floor. You think this is funny? I tilted my chin. I think it's inevitable. You won't win, he snarled. I already have, I whispered. The crowd gasped as his glass shattered on the floor, the wine staining his shoes. Adrian appeared behind me, his presence calm, commanding. Careful, Ethan. Every time you fall apart, she rises higher. Ethan's glare could have set me aflame, but inside I laughed. Because for the first time, I tasted victory, and it was sweeter than love had ever been. The gown felt heavier than stone, its train trailing behind me like a chain I had chosen to break. Evelyn adjusted my veil, her eyes warm. You look like victory, she whispered, or a fool walking into fire. I murmured. She squeezed my hand. Then burned brighter than anyone else. The doors opened. Gasps rippled through the hall. Every step echoed, steady and deliberate. My heart pounded as eyes followed me, some admiring, some envious, and one pair burning with rage. Ethan, he stood among the guests, fists clenched, his gaze searing into me. His lips curled into a snarl. Keep walking, Evelyn urged softly. I lifted my chin and walked down the aisle. Adrian stood waiting, tall and calm, his eyes steady only on me. When I reached him, he extended his hand. Are you ready? I was born ready, I whispered back. The officiant's voice filled the hall, speaking words of vows and promises. But my focus was on the silence between me and Adrian, the silent agreement, the dangerous pact. Do you, Adrian Blackwell, take her to be? I do, he answered firmly, his voice resonant. And do you? Yes, I said before the question finished. Gasps spread again, whispers darting like sparks. Suddenly, Ethan's voice thundered through the room. This wedding is a sham. The hall erupted with murmurs. I turned, meeting his blazing eyes. She doesn't love you, he shouted, pointing at Adrian. She's using you to hurt me. My chest tightened, but I forced a smile. And if I am, Ethan, what does that say about you? That you're the wound I chose to cut out? Laughter rippled through the guests. Ethan's face turned crimson. You're mine. Adrian stepped forward, his voice low but deadly. Sit down, Ethan. I won't, Ethan roared. She belongs to me. Adrian's eyes narrowed, sharp as steel. Say another word, and I'll ensure you never step foot in the city's business world again. The silence that followed was suffocating. Ethan's mouth opened, then closed, rage choking him. Finally, he sank back into his seat, trembling. With humiliation, Adrian turned back to me as if nothing had happened. Where were we? I smiled faintly. At the part where I break my chains. The officiant cleared his throat nervously and continued. Then, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Adrian's hand closed around mine, firm and steady. He leaned closer. You walk free now. Tears blurred. My vision as applause thundered through the hall. Evelyn hugged me tightly. You did it. No, I whispered, my gaze drifting to Ethan's broken expression. I survived it, and I made him watch. Adrian glanced at him briefly, then whispered to me, this is only the beginning. But tonight, he lost. Yes, I said softly, lifting my veil as I turned toward Ethan one last time. His eyes were glassy, full of hatred, full of regret. I raised my chin higher, tears sliding down my cheeks, not of pain, but of triumph. Goodbye, Ethan. The music swelled, and as Adrian led me from the altar, the weight of the gown no longer felt heavy. It felt like wings. I found Ethan outside the hotel lobby days later, his suit wrinkled, his tie loose. His eyes were bloodshot, his pride in ruins. You planned this, he hissed. All of it. I tilted my head. Planned what? Your greed? Your arrogance? No, Ethan, you destroyed yourself. Don't twist this. His voice cracked. I gave you everything. I laughed softly. You gave me nothing but scars. And now you've lost the only things you ever valued: power, money, respect. His hands shook. They turned on me. Investors, partners, even my friends. They abandoned me. Not abandoned, I corrected. They saw the real you. He stepped closer, desperation dripping from every word. Come back to me. We can fix this together. My chest tightened, but I steadied my voice. Do you think I'd crawl back to the man who killed me once already? His face twisted. You can't mean that. I mean every word, I said coldly. Karma doesn't miss its mark, Ethan. You thought you were untouchable, and now, look at you broken. His lips trembled. Leela left me, he whispered. I raised a brow. Of course she did. She clung to your wealth, not your soul. And now that wealth is gone. She betrayed me, he shouted, tears brimming in his eyes. Funny, I murmured. That's the same word I used when you and she stood in front of me. He staggered back, clutching his head. I was wrong. I was a fool. But you were always mine. No, Ethan. My voice was steady, sharp. I was never yours. You only borrowed me until you broke me. Now, I belong to myself. He dropped to his knees, shocking the bystanders. Please, he begged, give me one more chance. I can change. I looked down at him, the once arrogant man who mocked my tears now drowning in his own. The sight was intoxicating. Do you remember the night you slapped me? I asked softly. He winced. Do you remember the night I begged you to love me, and you called me pathetic? His face paled. I was angry. I didn't mean you meant every word. I cut him off. And now every word comes back to choke you. His sobs shook his shoulders. I'll do anything. No, Ethan. You'll do nothing. You'll watch. Watch what? He whispered. Watch me live a life you'll never touch again, I said firmly. Watch me stand beside the man who saw my worth, while you rot in the ruins you built. His hand reached for mine, trembling. Please, I pulled away, stepping back. Begging doesn't suit you. But then again, neither did love. His cries echoed behind me as I walked away, each step lighter than the last. The bitterness inside me began to melt into something sweeter closure. Maya met me outside, her eyes wide. He really begged? Yes, I said, my voice calm. The mighty Ethan finally fell. And how do you feel? She asked gently. I inhaled deeply, the night air cool against my skin. I feel like justice finally remembered my name. Her lips curved. So this is the end? I shook my head slightly. Not the end. The end for him, maybe. For me, it's just the beginning. And as we walked away, I didn't look back. Ethan had already faded into the shadows of his own downfall, exactly where he belonged.